Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and as you can see Battlefield 4 Dragon's Teeth DLC is free right now for Battlefield 4. And as far as the maps go, this is probably my favorite DLC out of all the um, Battlefield 4 DLCs that you have out there. If someone does ask, China Rising is probably my least favorite DLC out of all the maps because, well, it's just a lot of plain maps with no real, gameplay behind them. There's not much, in fact, no cover. There's some armor, great distances before that you have to run even before you have to meet anyone. A lot of airplane combat, which I was never really fond of in Battlefield 4. I mean, there's also obviously helicopter combat, which I like quite a bit, but there's no real point to the map. Certainly, there's no evolution or anything like that that they are so proud of in Battlefield 4. It's just a lot of empty space, which is not a whole lot of fun, I would say, and not my more favorite maps, but Dragon's Teeth has to be my more favorite DLC out of the bunch, and as I said, it's free right now on Origin on all the platforms that you can play Battlefield 4 on. And now this, although it came out, 4 years ago, these maps have to be my favorites out of all the maps. There's Pro Market, which is, it's kind of like, if you haven't played it before, it's got a mix of narrow streets with like close quarter fighting inside buildings. Not a lot of destruction, if any, but you can fight on multiple levels, even rooftops, and shoot down at the enemy, which I kind of like. You have this 3 or 4 levels of, fighting that you can do on, and it just adds quite literally a new layer to the battlefield. There's Sunken Dragon, which is a map that has scout helicopters only, I think, and LAVs. It's fun too. You have this really nicely laid out kind of casino thing in the center of the map, which you can flood, and you can either swim to or get to on the ground, and it's a lot of fun to play. Not my favorite map, but it's still a lot of fun to do battle on. Lumpini Garden is another fun map to play, but it's in this park, and there's an L train, a non-functioning L train, obviously, on the top of the map. And the funnest part about this map is that you can trigger a Revolution event, which DICE was so proud of when they came out with Battlefield 4. That basically triggers this mudslide, which will kill anything in its path. So there's that. It's a lot of fun to play in this thing. And one of the more favorite maps of the game, it has to be Propaganda, because it's set in this North Korea-like environment, basically with some big-ass statues, no air power, none whatsoever, so only ground combat, and you get 2 or 3 tanks per side, I think, basically quite a bit of armor combat, as well as, just regular, gunplay, as you can see. And the train is OP, by the way, and you will see what I mean when you get to play the game, if you ever get to play this DLC. Now, all these maps, they come with, obviously this DLC comes with 11 additional assignments, as it says here on the origin page. You know, gun assignments where you can unlock the Desert Eagle, which, you know, has no place in a Battlefield game, but it's sure as hell fun to look at. Unica 6 revolver, which is fun, another fun gun to play. CS5 sniper rifle, MPX SMG, the Bulldog battle rifle, which puts out scary amounts of damage, and in exchange has a smaller magazine, but still puts down, you know, unbelievable amounts of firepower. And there's also a couple of gadgets in this DLC that will include the ballistic shield, which I'm not sure if you played before, but it's one of the more useless gadgets from Battlefield 4, certainly on par with such things as the flashbang underbarrel grenade launcher, or the, you know, let's see, what other gadgets, the AA mine, or the XD1, you know, remote controlled drone, which is more or less as useless as you think they are. I do have to add to that list the XM25 grenade launcher, and which is purely a troll gun, I guess, and the DS3 decoy, which I probably used all of twice in my years of Battlefield 4 gameplay, because quite honestly they are, you know, useless, and they just detract from the gameplay usually by slowing it down. So like the ballistic shield, no one actually uses it because you have to, you know, crouch down to actually be protected by it, and that's more or less, you know, you instantly become useless as a part of the team because you are slowed down to a crawl. And I read somewhere that the original version of the ballistic shield included you basically holding a pistol while using the ballistic shield in the game, but obviously DICE got rid of that before they actually implemented the gadget in the final versions of the game. But that would have been, I think that would have made it quite a bit more useful gadget, and, you know, made it a lot more fun to actually play. Another noteworthy gadget from this DLC, this particular DLC, it has to be the remote assisted weaponized robot, or you guessed it, that abbreviates as ROAR, which I'm sure you can sense is a not too subtle dig at Call of Duty's RCXD remote control thing for Battlefield 4. Now, this thing is actually, I dare say, it's more or less useful, as you can pick it up. It's not an unlockable gadget, you can pick it up throughout these maps, Dragon's Teeth maps, well, it's got an LMG in it, and 4 grenade launchers of freedom, basically, which means that you can put a dent, quite a large dent into the enemy team if you ever find, you know, one to pick it up, and you can sit down in the corner to control before you get dead. Now, there's also a new, or I guess then new for 4 years ago, new game mode for this DLC, which is Chain Link, which I kind of liked, actually. It's a shame that Battlefield 4 servers don't seem to really play Chain Link anymore. It's kind of, it's a lot of fun, this game mode is. It's kind of like, I guess it's sort of like Conquest, except you have to capture the flags in order to advance on the enemy. So you have to capture A, then B, then C, and you have to kind of, it says you quite literally have to link them together, hence the name, for the flags to actually bleed the enemy's tickets. So overall, I gotta say this is a fun DLC, and probably one of the best, if not the best DLC that you can download for Battlefield 4. And the price is right, obviously, which you do have to have the main game for the DLC to work. But I gotta say, this DLC is worth spending $0.00 on it, so you should definitely go and check it out and download it if you have the space on your hard drive, and have fun playing with it. So thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video as it helps my channel grow. Check out my other videos at the end of this one, and remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.